Your observability bill is too high. I know folks whose observability bill is higher than their compute bill. No human can deal with 100 plus pages per day, per shift, or half that, even if they're actionable or not. Do you feel like you're flying blind in chaos? Do customers tell you about incidences before you even know what's going on? Does it just feel impossible to localize a root cause of a problem? Is this you? Let's fix this. Hi, I'm Jack Neely. I'm the owner and observability strategist at Cardinality Cloud, LLC. I've been doing DevOps and SRE work for more than 25 years. 13 of those years I've spent especially doing observability work for companies big and small, startups, small-sized companies, Fortune 500s, even a couple companies that got bought by Google. I've been there. I've seen this. I'm also an open source contributor. I have coded in Graphite, in Prometheus, in Thanos. I've also been known to do a few conference presentations. So I wanted to use this new YouTube series to share with you what it's taken me 25 years in the field to learn. Here's the revelation I had. In site reliability engineering, we often talk about toil. And toil is those repeatable tasks that are usually manual, even if it's manually running the same script over and over again. It's repeatable, it's interrupt driven. But the key bit that identifies toil is that it's work that doesn't have any enduring value. So the application or system before we needed to do the work and after we've done the work are in the same state, then that work was toil. These are tasks that we've learned to automate. In fact, that's built out a lot of our careers, and really a lot of the SRE movement is being able to automate these tasks, is being able to stand on top of that automation, automate again and improve, stand on top, and repeat that same cycle. The long-standing joke in our career was that our job was to automate ourselves out of a job. That rings a touch hollow now with AI and the promises or lack thereof. But the point is that we value that learning culture. We value building value. It's a lot more fun to work on new and exciting projects and learn new things. It drives our careers. It drives the business. So it's those tasks that we've learned to iterate and improve and code our way out of our problems. As I was doing observability work, this led to a light bulb moment for me in my career. I really enjoy distributed systems and modeling them with my observability tools. And one day it clicked. We are scientists and engineers, right? Software engineers, site reliability engineers. I have a degree in computer science. So isn't it our responsibility, isn't it what we're hired to do, to use the skills of science and engineering in our field? And isn't that the scientific method? And in fact, I've already been describing it. The scientific method is how we phrase a question, build a hypothesis, test it with an experiment, evaluate our results, figure out if that's acceptable or if we need to rinse and repeat or throw away and start over again. The scientific method has been how we as a global civilization has gained knowledge and understanding for more than 3,000 years. So I think it's just as applicable today in site reliability engineering and software engineering. So when we use a scientific method, we tend to build some sort of model of our understanding. It may not be exactly complete or exactly correct, but we try to build this model of our understanding so that when something new happens, we can use that model to predict what should be the solution, what should happen, what is the cause. It's that model and prediction that becomes so powerful. In observability, that's a dashboard. Except today's dashboards have live data, enable us to do real-time debugging and real-time problem solving in production. So observability has been defined as many things. But the meaning of observability doesn't mean anything unless it drives value to both the engineers and the business. What I've learned is this. Like we would use a script to automate a simple task, or a CI/CD pipeline to automate a complex movement of data and code from one end to the other, or a whole software application to automate a complex task. Observability is automation for our understanding of a system. Observability is not a tax we pay to do our jobs. Observability is leverage for me, for you, for the business. So as I begin this YouTube series from Cardinality Cloud, I wanted to lay out kind of a framework of how I see these YouTube videos working. And first and foremost, I think with this mindset that we now have, it's clear that observability is not shoveling endless cash at a vendor and hoping for the best. The last thing you need is another pre-built dashboard or bit of AI sprinkling that doesn't help you in the custom business logic that you've created. I believe that there are techniques that we can use that are fiscally responsible to implement our observability and still have advanced analytics, and do so in a way that encourages and builds that learning environment where we teach and understand and iterate and improve. I believe these techniques allow us to integrate with any AI model, and they allow us to insource that understanding, the model of the system. Yet we can still outsource the toil, the hard parts. When I've talked about observability before, a common refrain has been, Jack, our core competency is not running some crazy database for our observability data. And I've done that, and I've been there, and I've seen what happens. So yeah, I get that. And I think these techniques can be leveraged to outsource the data lakes, the hard part, but bring in focus on enabling our engineering staff to build those models, build that understanding, build that learning environment. So as we progress through this series, I'm going to try to break this down into a crawl, walk, and run framework. The crawl framework is going to be monitoring and observability basics, starting from scratch with a small AWS footprint or as a startup, foundational data types, alerting principles. The walk part of our framework is going to be where I suggest that most of us live and breathe in our everyday life. It's going to be instrumentation at scale, managing data at scale, enterprise challenges, including dealing with cardinality. And it's not an SRE or observability YouTube channel without service level objectives. At the run stage, we'll talk about advanced automation, prediction, advanced analysis, plugging in AI for that accelerant ability that AI gives us, for using observability truly as a force multiplier in our organization. So, thanks for watching really one of my first YouTube videos ever. In the next episode, I plan to crawl through doing logs and setting those up well in a very small AWS footprint, like a startup or a very small project. How to get you off on the right foot and in a way that plans for the future and enables the analysis that you want to do at any scale. Do you need an expert on your team? Find the link below for Cardinality Cloud and feel free to contact me. Observability audits are always free.